Hey guys! Today I'm going to teach you how to make LPS thumbnails. First, you're going to start out by going into CapCut to edit your photo. Although CapCut is a video editor, you can also edit your photos. Start by going into the ratio, because we need to get it to the YouTube thumbnail size, which is 16 by 9. Then you just crop your photo until you get it how you like it. Then you go into adjust, and you can adjust your photo if you want by changing the brightness, contrast, exposure, all that stuff. Usually I just do a little bit of each, but you can do however much you want depending on how light or dark you want your photo. Then screenshot your photo and crop it and save it. Now that my photo is saved, I'm going to bring it to Procreate by tapping the photo button and selecting my photo. Then it will bring me the correct size for my canvas. For this one, I'm going to be editing the eyes since I do that sometimes. I'm going to start by, on the same layer as the photo, erasing the eye so we don't, go outside the lines. Then create a new layer and put it under your photo. You're going to start by making it white and turn up your brush. You could turn off the background color so you can see what you're drawing. And then I'm just going to make these look like normal LPS eyes because I'm not going to do anything too crazy, but because you can edit your eyes, you can make them look however you want. You don't have to make it look just like an LPS eye, and you can make them bigger or smaller. If you want to add pupils, there are two things you can do. You can have a darker color of your eye color or just make it black. I'm going to do black because that's going to be simpler for me to do, but as I showed just before in the examples, you can do either of them. You can also change the highlight shapes. I'm pretty sure the sheep's eyes are actually flowers, but since we have the option to change them, I'm going to make them hearts, and you can add whatever highlights you want or not add highlights at all. Then you can create another layer and get a dark blue, and then draw over the eyes. If you want, you can get a dark gray that matches your LPS color and make it like eyelids, but what you're gonna do, you go into the adjustment section and go on the blur and blur it out, and it will look like shading. Usually I don't do this, but it does give your eyes more depth. Then create another layer over your picture, and you're going to make it black, but you can also make it a darker color of your eyes, whatever you want to do, and just make an outline. You can make it as thick or thin as you want because you're drawing over the picture, and you can give it whatever type of eyelashes you want to. If you can get rid of the eyelashes that the LPS already has in the photo, and you can add eyelashes. If you want to draw on a mouth, go onto the layer your photo is on and click that ass looking button and make sure it's on freehand. Then draw around your mouth Then click the copy and paste button, and it will add it to a new layer. Then go back to your adjustments and click the blur, and just blur out the mouth. If you go too far, you're going to be able to see through, so just do it about that much. You can still see the mouth a bit, but it does make it harder to see, so if you draw over it, it's not going to show that much. And because this nose is chipped, I'm just going to block out the colors and just draw on it, so then if I blur it, it's going to look sort of like the nose already. So it's not that good, but it does kind of help when you look far away. Then go on another layer to draw your mouth. Because your mouth is blurred, you can basically do whatever type of mouth you'd want to do. You can make this mouth open, closed, you can make a small mouth, you can make a big mouth, you can do whatever you want. I'm gonna do the normal mouth I usually do, which is not that. It does look kind of weird, but you know, it's just an example. You can color in the mouth, whatever you layer. You can make a new layer and then color in your mouth like that. And also that reminded me when I drew over it. Because you're drawing over the LPS, you can draw in another layer and you can add more details, like you can add marks on the face, which I mean, this LPS already has a lot of it already, but you can add marks, just whatever you want. Just, you can edit the LPS a lot, but I'm going to keep it simple and I'm just going to do this. And also if you want to add blush, which I normally do, just go on a separate layer and draw with pink or red wherever you want the blush to be. Then go back to your adjustment section and blur it out again. You can draw more on the cheeks or the nose wherever you want to add more. Then screenshot it and crop it, and we're going to go back to CapCut. So now that your new photo is in CapCut, you can add, if you want, text or effects. You can add text in Procreate too, but I think that CapCut's text and options are a lot better. So what you can do, you can go through your effects and just see which one you like best. So I'm just scrolling through the photo and seeing which one worked best. I'm not going to use this one, it's just an example. So CapCut has a lot of different options. So like for example, you can put these butterfly ones on, and usually these effects do have filters. So if you want to get rid of a filter or an effect or edit it a bit, you can click the adjust button on the filter you clicked and play with the tools and just erase the filter, get rid of some of the mounts and stickers, all that stuff. CapCut also has a lot of free stickers you can add, such as glitter, which I ended up removing because it was just a little too much, stickers, and all that stuff. So it doesn't matter if it moves, since you could just screenshot it. So what I do is I end up splitting the photo so I know where to screenshot if I'm not done editing it. To add text, just put the text button, and CapCut gives you a lot of font options. I recommend finding a font that matches your aesthetic of your thumbnail. This is a very aesthetic thumbnail looking, so I would choose maybe like a cursive or something like that. And there's a lot of editing tools that you can use to edit your text, but I'll get into more detail with that later on in this video. And that is how I make a basic thumbnail. Now I just gotta crop it and save it to photos, and I can put it on my YouTube video. Here is another example of what you can do. Here's another photo. I'm already edited in CapCut, and it's now in Procreate. I'm gonna take a white pen, and I'm gonna draw around my main object. I see a lot of people do this with their thumbnails. I've never done it, but I thought I'd try it for this tutorial because it looks really cool. instead of just doing a lot of straight lines, you can also do stitches like I did around the LPS. I think this looks really cute too, and I'd probably see myself doing this more. It's a way to kind of like show your main focus in your thumbnail by making lines around it, and it just looks cute. And the great thing for editing your photos in our app is that you can draw on your thumbnails. So I tried making butterflies, which I'm obviously not very good at doing, but it's just an example. I wasn't really sure what to do. But if you want, you can draw on your thumbnail. Now bringing it back to CapCut, I'm going to add a photo as an example, as an overlay, and you can put 2 different images on one thumbnail. So you can do like a split screen, or you can go into the edit and crop, and you can crop a certain part of the photo. So I'm just going to try to get its head. Ignore the text, this is just an example. But all you gotta do is save that and make it smaller, and now you have a square image to put there for whatever reason you may want to do it. So now I'm just gonna find the font, like I said. Try to find a font that works with your thumbnail and its theme. This one would probably work best. If you want to have a certain part of your text a different color, just highlight it and then click the text color. I'm not exactly sure what stroke is. I can't figure that out. It doesn't seem to make much of a difference. And then there's glow, which just gives your text a glow around it, and you can edit its intensity and range and the color. For background, it just gives you a solid background that you can edit a lot of stuff here and change the color if you want. I probably use shadow the most. It just gives a shadow, so it's easier to read your text and it's very helpful, and you can change the color too. Then there's spacing, which I really don't use. It just kind of rotates your picture and stuff. Though with your fingers, you could just move your text around, so I don't normally use it. And then bold italic, you can just change, like make it bold italic, underscore. So that's very helpful. I actually didn't know about this till I made this video. But I was trying to figure out how to do that. And then you just move your image and write your text. And if you want to have your text in different spots, you can just create a new text, whatever you call it, you know. So you can move it around, you can make it slanted, and make something that people would want to click on. I think moving your text around does help, and it takes up more room. So one more example, I'm going to edit, which by the way, you don't have to edit the same way I do. I always just do a little bit of each. It's just what I do. But you can do whatever you want. I mean, if you want your picture to be very dark or very bright, you can just move it more. It all depends on what you're looking for your thumbnail. Here I'm just adding an overlay. Not exactly sure what I'm doing here. For some reason, if you go into video effects, they don't work when you have an overlay. And I found this out last night. I can't figure out why. It's pretty annoying. But some of these effects just won't work. Here are some more text options. So yeah, you can have a bubble around your text if you wanted, but I never use that. So you can go into animation, which is, it helps for when you screenshot, your text might be in a certain position you can't get it in. So there's a lot of different animations, like this swirly thing. Usually I use like the swirly thing, and you can move it up there. And then you just slice your video so you know when you have to screenshot it, when the text is in the spot you want it to be. And you can use different animations for different text. I'll flick it to that. Yeah, so you can have it like bent over like that. And just using the animations makes your text move a little more, and it makes it more interesting. You can probably do this in Procreate too using the warp option, but I have a lot more trouble with that. Anyways, here's all the thumbnails that we made. Yeah, what am I saying? So then you just screenshot it like the others and you're done. Here are some other examples of thumbnails that I've already made on my channel. They're all mainly snapshots from my video, and I edit. So this one I edited the eyes. As you can see, there's a very big difference. And then, yeah, so most of them are just text. This one, actually, I edited this thumbnail on my computer, on my editing software, which isn't the greatest because they don't have a lot of editing options. So I really recommend, if you can get CapCut and Procreate, or any other editing option really, to use those.